There's the next car on this family car. We had a Toyota Kluger, but in November, Brisbane got some hailstorms, so smashed that up. And we've got a nice, reliable replacement. Toyota down to, well, I won't say down to Land Rover, but Toyota to Land Rover, looking for some reliability. Thought I'd give that a go. We've had it 4 weeks. It's got no service history. It's got 216 on the clock now. It's actually in pretty good condition, but taking a bit of a risk with no service history, obviously. Looks pretty well looked after. I found an old garage, and although they haven't sent me any information, they've told me that it's been serviced regularly, brakes and whatever's been done to it, but unfortunately I can't find any history of a cam belt being changed in the last 216,000 Ks, so I'd say that's pretty near desperately due. Not a bad car. It's just the TD4 model, so it's not got the more powerful setup. Same engine, but just different programming, I believe. I don't think the turbo is any larger or smaller between the two models. But to be honest, this one goes pretty well. The SD4 might be nice, but this is perfectly acceptable. There's loads of common faults with these cars, a couple of which I've already got in the first 4 weeks of having it. So door actuators, they can go, but they're about $40 for replacement. This one's had a couple already. The armrest, I bought a replacement armrest. Missed out on the white stitching, just got a standard one, but close enough, it'll do. That was like $100 online, I think, and 10 minutes to replace it. So this is 2014 model. So it's got the slightly uprated dashboard, and it's got the larger screen. It's got a sat nav on there. It's got the central clock. Is another difference between an earlier pre-facelift on the last years. I think it stopped making this 2015. So this is pretty much as they came at the end of the production run. Obviously don't really use the sat nav because it is 10 years old now, 12 years old now, so it's pretty well out of date. That's a cradle from the last owner. Don't have that one Bluetooth attachment up there. It's got manual seats, not electric, which I think is another difference between SD4 TD4. Being TD, it's slightly lesser model spec. Have a quick look under the bonnet. So common faults: the armrest, EGR issue, which I've got a light on dashboard for that, so that's all the way down the back of the engine there. I think it might just be a broken spring, which I need to fix up on it. It's just on startup, it generates the fault code. Gas struts are useless, need replacing. So let's see if I can start this. Oh wow, starts up without the engine fault lights going out. So the EGR valve worked this time. It's got the warning on, and that is for the turbo boost pipe, which is another common fault in these. Like I said, we went from Toyota to Land Cruiser for reliability. Had it 4 weeks, and we've had the turbo. Okay, don't know what that is. The hell? Alright, found another fault. Okay, sort that one out later. Turbo boost pipe. I don't know if you can see it. Where is it? Ah, there it is. Let me see if I can get the there we go. So, rest the bonnet on my head. That little cut on the pipe. Just there, little white line. So when the turbo spools up, all the compressed air comes out of that little slot, and engine goes into limp mode, fault mode. So today I'm going to be swapping out that little pipe. Should be easy enough. Gas strut's not working, no problem. Stick, umbrella, whatever, resting on the alternator down there somewhere, so it shouldn't cause any damage. And crack on with it. Alright, so today's exercise is going to be the turbo intercooler pipe that goes from the bottom of the throttle body to the plastic link pipe that transitions along the engine, along underneath the engine. There we go, little cistern pipe there. So you can just see a Jubilee clip at the bottom, and that gubbins on top is the throttle body, and there is a Jubilee clip at the top of the pipe. So that's a single layer pipe, and I've got this as a replacement. It's 4 layer silicone hose. Should last longer, should solve the problem. I don't know if it's going to make it more difficult to get it on, because this is obviously going to be stiffer, have less flex in it to get between 2 points. Hopefully I can just put this in without taking off the throttle body or the plastic link pipe underneath, but we'll have a look. So I reckon this is a 7mm, so I've got a little socket with flexi head, 7mm, get those Jubilee clips off. So it's a little bit fiddly to get down there, but that's on the bottom one, and not a lot of space, so I could do with having another couple of extensions to get a bit higher. Just gotta be careful you don't hit the whatever that is, back of the radiator, back of the intercooler air condenser. Yeah. Top one's a little bit more fiddly to get on. Jubilee clips orientated, so I'm over at the side here. I think when I put them back on, I'm gonna change them so I can get to them both easily through this side. There's quite a lot of a gap down here. Okay, there we go, comes off in this orientation, and the split is just by my thumb there. It's not very big, and we did drive it back about 80 k's from where this started happening. And as long as you accelerated very slowly, the boost didn't spool up on the turbo, and it didn't throw the engine light. It was only when going uphill, put a little bit more pressure on the accelerator, the turbo spooled up, and then it freaked out the computer again. But still, made it back fine. And no damage to the turbo in my mind, because we weren't over revving it. I think the computer throws up a problem because the turbo spools up and it's trying to build up pressure. It can't read the pressure because it's all escaping, and then the computer throws it into limp mode because it's basically got an out of control turbo where it's spooling up and there's no pressure, so it reduces the power. This is the orientation it came out, so it's bent slightly, larger part at the top I believe, and yeah, just collapse it in the middle, and I prised it off the throttle body end first and then took it off the plastic pipe, lifted it up and out, easy. So the two hoses next to each other, seems to be a little bit of a length difference, but I noticed when I took this one off there was loads of play in the plastic pipe underneath, so I don't think it should be too much of an issue. I'll size it up when I put it on there. Bigger hole at the bottom, you can see it's flared out a little bit here, flared out here, and that flare does seem to be sort of in line height wise, so I think this might just go further down on the plastic tube. But anyway, let's get on with it. So, all done, new pipe is in, Jubilee clips. One of them is pointing out to the passenger side because that was easier to get to. The top one stays in the original position because otherwise it got hidden underneath that sensor. Just going to take it out for a quick test drive, make sure there's no leaks and see if the engine fault code clears by itself. Another point to note, it's pretty restricted access down here, and these cable ties. Look at that, scraping your arm up and down that for half an hour. Get a pair of flush cutters, cut them off, make life easier for yourself, otherwise you end up with an arm hacked to pieces. Anyway, good fun. I'll take it for a drive, see how it goes. Never know my luck, maybe the engine light will go out, or the warning light will go out straight away. Oh, looks like I might have actually. Handbrake off. And no hissing. Yeah, it used to be when the turbo spooled up. I'll take it for a drive because under pressure it does it a lot easier, but that might be fixed. Done. Okay, test drive done, all good, all the lights are out, warning light's gone. The engine management light, like I said before, I think that's EGR related, so I'll deal with that later. No doubt it'll pop back up in a couple of days or so. But more than happy that job done here, give it back to the wife, get my car back. Then I just need to get the cam belt done before it blows up, as we're on 216. Like I said before, I don't think this has had a cam belt change. There's no record of it anyway. So there we go, cam belt next. Cheers, see ya. So a couple of things I would say about the silicone pipe is that it's a lot tighter than the other one to get on, so I really had to manhandle it onto the plastic pipe at the bottom first, and then onto the throttle body at the top afterwards. Bit of pushing and shoving, much more difficult than the original one. Also, the Jubilee clips came up pretty small. If I'd not fought so much to get it on in the first place, I probably would have used the old Jubilee clips. And again, there's 4 rubber pipes down here, so I've introduced one stronger pipe, so let's see if the other 3 pop now.